All right, so let's go over this trade recap. I took a trade on CL, and I just wanted to do a recap on this. Um, this is very unconventional, because of what indices are doing. So I'm mostly looking at, since this is not the cleanest day, it's just more so an intraday scalp and what RB is doing that led me to believe that CL was going to trade higher. And I'll go over the logic and whatnot. It's very, very important though that we do understand that these assets, right? Even though that's not the cleanest stuff ever, they did open high and reverse, much like these assets here, oils. Um, where they open low first, we get SMT, which inside of this, sorry, confirm restaurant search by the way. Which I forgot to label right there. All right, there is. And then we also get for our transfer PSP right here. So you see me marking this low because this is previously this low on RB. That is the only key level we should go higher from. So if we fail to employ this low, pretty safe to assume that then we should go for these lows. But if it holds, if every asset starts trading away, which you'll see why I didn't trade early into the 6 a.m. candle, I had to wait for 11. So I didn't, I traded the 10 a.m. candle. Um, and yeah, so why I didn't trade reversal and whatnot. So like besides from this, the initial two stage, which again I wasn't on the charts here, totally fine to miss this right here. Perhaps there's a nice entry. I actually don't know. Um, very similar in the HO, it makes a double fair swing though, so it's not ideal, but between these two, it's totally fine. But we get consolidation afterwards, so we know that's not probably this is either it's not a true reversal or and we should rehitt this low, or we can expand and filter and put the highs. This is the only thing I'll trade. Um, so if I'm winning here, I can pull up HO as well. As you can see, double fair swing. There's really no key level here. So then what do? RB engages. Well, technically this is higher there, but again, I'm marking an hourly swing. So anyways, so this relevant hourly swing. What do we do at 9? We fail to manipulate this high right here, right? Then what does HO do as well? At 9, we hit this high as well. So we have SMT break. Like there's some time in between, I believe in the 30-minute, where HO still hadn't hit the high. So this is SMT break here at 9:30. Let's go back. Or as you can see, this we hit this at 9. We're obviously failing to implement that, and then 9:30 expands as well. So here is where I'm looking for potential catch up to this asset to the same draw liquidity, because these assets, the face of price we get, again, this is not the cleanest. You've seen the lower time frame why I marked that out like this. What face of price do we get here? Consolidation slash retracement, right? You can tell even here, there's no gaps, there's nothing that supports price lower. So I'm seeing this as a retracement away from what? The current high of day, which if you look on the 30-minute, these are also equal highs. It's preferred general liquidity, right? And this is you can see this is a market maker buy model. The only thing that's a little bit concerning here is that the daily wick is pretty damn large, right? But I'm only taking it to the current high of day, and I'm going to break even at the internal high here, obviously, and I'm not really expecting anything past it. Even these guys are going to have a hard time reaching this, but we can definitely break the SMT here, just because we're just failing to upload this high, and these I can trade higher. Arguably, RB doesn't have that large of a daily wick to where you could trade this. This is just a C2 into forming, right? So it doesn't have too large of a wick. It's mostly these assets that have a very, very large wick. That doesn't, like, you should mark it like this, my bad. That does a super expansion, but intraday, we can still trade an expansion higher. There's high likely to happen. It just, we won't really get to this high. But this is the highest probability trade. for me today. And we'll go over why I took it. So let's go to HO. This is a little bit cleaner. So as you can see, every asset actually trades into the gap, but this asset trades into it first, right at 11. And right here, we get two stitch, right? We get strength switch. So you could probably just disregard this SMT field because then every asset trades into the gap. I personally have it as a confluence. It really shows me that we're just creating a swing point to trade away from, right? And this right here, this becomes strength switch, right? And it also closes PSP. So normally what I would do is I would wait for these other assets to expand as well. So to confirm this low right here, obviously we are going to use a 3-minute slash, well, since it's 50-minute, you can do from 1 minute slash 3-minute CSD. I personally use the 3-minute in this case. So yeah, we're gonna wait for that. And what I personally do is I wait for all assets to be in sync. So I require them to all either CSD. If it's in a triad, I need 2 of them to CSD, and the third one to show me that it is still reversing. It doesn't have to necessarily CSD. But I don't know, it has to disrespect, in this case, bearish order flow on the lower time frame. But in this case, since it is trend switch, I'm assuming that the role of this trend switch here is to break the SMT. And so if my bias is wrong, if we're gonna break the SMT here, we have this trend switch here has to hold. There's really no reason to wait for another candle. Like this is the only key level inside, right? Because like 10 a.m. what does it do? It retraces slash consolidates, right? This is just retracement area. So 10 a.m. opens low, we manipulate the low, and so I'm trading this open low high close candle on the 4-hour, right? With these assets failing to put the high. So yeah, I'm assuming that this should absolutely be the low of 10 a.m. right? How is that confirmed? Via trend switch, and this also closes PSP. So yeah, this is really not needed because every asset trades into the gap. It just adds as a confluence, right? It shows that this asset is trend switching, right? Because otherwise, it really wouldn't be as obvious to me. So yeah, there it is. I'll go over, this is my trade executions right here. I'm logged in and I took it, as you can see, V-shape CSD, and I took it at the SMT break, these equal highs. Obviously high of day, it's actually 1800 on MCL. I think it's different here. As you can see, it's like different. So I should have taken it at this high, but obviously this is one tick higher. I'm assuming we're probably gonna hit that. And we obviously ended up trading a little bit higher than that. I wouldn't say this is anticipatable. But yeah, I'm just taking 3R. I'm taking my piece of the pie, right? These are very good signatures in price. Knowing in mind, I'm also like, technically I didn't need a close, but this also happens at the close, so the PSP really adds confluence to this trade. And this obviously right here looks like a retracement. There's no really displacement lower, especially away from an established low day. So yeah, that's gonna be it. And this was a very simple trade, but very good example of just waiting for the right conditions. Sometimes on days like this, where technically this reversal is not the cleanest because we consolidate a little bit, it just kind of seek and destroy it. As you can see, we take the highs, take the lows, and then we expand higher, right? Again, seek and destroy and consolidation is not a reversal. It's not a form of reversal, so we should continue, right? But it's just not the cleanest. Ideally, you would trade universal sequence down here, right? So I'm demanding a little bit more. I'm demanding the other asset to fail to manipulate these highs, really show me that they're displacing, and then we can trade these assets via trend switch to the same draw liquidity. And so yeah, that's gonna be it.